Today we're going to be making bath fizzies, and the first ingredients that I'm going to start with is 1 cup of citric acid. So I'm just going to pour that in there, and you can buy citric acid online, or if you have like a winery or something like that in your area, they typically sell it with winemaking supplies. So it's definitely one of the main ingredients in bath fizzies. Next thing that I'm going to do is put in 2 cups of baking soda, and basically that is 1 box. So I don't even have to measure this. I'm just going to open the box up and pour the whole thing in. And then the next thing that I need is 1 cup of cornstarch. That helps keep it together. It gives it a nice consistency. So you can put it in a mold and get nice shapes out of it. So again, that's 1 cup of cornstarch, and you can get that at your local grocery store. And then there's an optional Epsom salts, 2/3 cup if you want to put it in. Sometimes that dries your skin out, but it is nice in the wintertime if you have colds and flus and stuff like that to put it in your water, your bath water, because it helps soak the impurities out of your body. But in this case, I'm not using it today. I'm going to go with the powdered milk instead. And I'm going to put in a 1/2 cup of powdered milk. And I'm using a cup here, but I'm just going to fill it half full. So there's a 1/2 cup. And then the next thing that I'm going to put in is 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm just going to kind of wing it here because I've done this so many times. But 4 tablespoons, that's about what I have there. And then I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of castor oil. And you can buy castor oil at your local health food store, and or you can order it online. And then the next thing that you do is you just mix it all together, and this takes a little time. This is probably the most difficult part of making bath fizzies, is just getting all the lumps out. So I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing here. I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can see the consistency that I'm working with right now. So I'm just going to do this for a few moments. Working it in with my fingers, getting all those lumps out. Want all the oil mixed through. Now that I've had this pretty well mixed, I've gotten most of the lumps out of the product. I'm going to add the essential oil, and I'm going to use lavender, and I'm just going to put a few drops in here, and it makes your house smell so nice when you do this, for a long time actually. So I'm putting that in, and so when you put this in your bath water, it's going to have the scent of lavender. So one added benefit of just doing bath fizzies, not only is the water nice and soft, the smell is wonderful. Adding a few more drops there. It just makes for that spa experience. It's wonderful. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Okay, now I'm almost ready to put this into the mold. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a spritzer of witch hazel. What this does is it adds a little moisture to my product here, and it's going to evaporate out pretty quickly. And so this will help when I put it into the molds to get that form. So just adding this little bit of moisture. We don't want to add water. We want to add witch hazel alcohol. See if you can see this when I put it together. See how that's kind of clumping? And that's what I want, because that will do nicely in my mold. I'm going to add a little bit more here. Blend that in. And I'm just going to test it to see how well it's taking shape, and it's taking shape very nicely here. So you want it to be like that consistency. So I'm getting ready to put it in the mold. And I've chosen a heart mold. That's one of my favorite designs. And so, get it under here. There we go. So you can kind of see. Okay, and all I do is I just gently pack it in. Nice and tight. I really want to press that down. And I usually put plastic down on my table. The reason for that is if you put it down like on paper or something like that, the oil will absorb into the paper after you flip this upside down and put your molded Fizzies on the table. The paper will take some of the oil, and you don't want that to happen. I want all the oil to stay in my bath Fizzies, so that's why I use plastic. I'm just making sure this is very tight, very firm. Just pushing it down a little bit more here. Now that I've got my bath Fizzies nice and firm, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to tap the mold with a hammer so it releases and it keeps my design. Sometimes this is the hardest part of the project if it so happens to stick. So I'm hoping I feel it releasing. I think, okay, it released all but one. But you can see the results, and is I will package these up in shrink wrap and then put a little tag on them, and then I sell them in my studio. Again, very simple project, and it's something that you'll really enjoy because it's a spa experience. And now the reward.